Hey, what's going on? Sepsis by Lamb of God came out a couple of weeks ago now. Let's chat about it. It's time to wake up the neighbors. What's the news, dude?
Yeah, well, in between my old man passing away, and cheers to you, Dad. You were the greatest. John,
Yep.
I won't give my last name, but John was known as Big Jake. Cool dude. And you know what? He really, really would have hated Sepsis by Lamb of God. He was a Elvis guy. He was into Nights in White Satin. You know that song by the Moody Blues?
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, I know you're out there somewhere. Yeah, that terrible music. He would have hated Sepsis.
He would not have been a fan, no.
No, and so to celebrate his passing, let's talk about a song that he would absolutely despise and would think that I'm an absolute demon for listening to.
Well, props to your old man. He was a good guy. I'm sorry that you lost him, man. That always sucks.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. But Sepsis.
Yes. New Lamb of God, man. Randy Blythe coming hard.
So tell me what it is and why it is that singers don't show that much emotion, because he is emotional on this.
The song, the track, and it's out there now. It's not a secret. It starts off with this like long, drawn out, bass heavy, super, super gnarly bass heavy driven intro, courtesy of John Campbell. And Randy brings in this like talky, singy kind of heavy duty narrative through the front. And I mean, it fits great with what's happening musically. But my God, the man is just, his vocals, not the man. His vocals are so fucking angry. The guy just brings this power. It's like a volcano ready to pop.
It's early Clutch, because Clutch was a lot like that. Fallon from Clutch was like that early on, and really emotional, growly vocals.
Mm-hmm.
They've since abandoned it, more stoner, soap maker, Yeti music. But what's cool is this. I just love the emotion, and he had the passion behind his vocals, and I don't hear that all the time. I find a lot of times vocalists are just really polished, but this felt like a very raw track to me, and it was even produced very kind of grainy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's got, the track just has a lot of grit in it, which seems to be that translated into the video for it too, which is also very, very gritty. Looks like it was shot on a, handy cam from 1984. And yeah, the bass tone that Campbell uses in the intro, Randy's vocals, it's all just got some dirt, it's all covered with some filth, but it's very effective. And like you said, he's got this passion, like you can just super angry, and it's right there at the surface, just ready to break out, which it does, a couple of bars in. And man, when it goes, like, there comes the Randy Blythe napalm vocals.
Yeah, and this is on the heels of Omen, which came out in 2022, and before that was the self-titled Lamb of God. Very polished records, very clean, very they're good records. I love both of them. But I think that they got back to their Sacrament, Walk With Me in Hell, kind of earlier roots, which they were produced not great, and that's why they've remastered them in recent years, but they were a very gritty, grainy, rugged sound at the time. And I felt like, again, this has been a theme in 2025, is bands kind of returning to their roots a little bit and bringing back what made them popular to begin with. And we've seen that with several bands. I mean, Megadeth with the riffs, and Deftones sounded like Deftones again. And here, this sounds like the Lamb of God that a lot of kids that are now adults grew up with.
Well, I think Omens and the few albums of that era were, I think, Lamb of God were doing what a lot of bands are doing. You know, it was a very polished, modern metal flavor over like a 7-10 year period where everything was meticulously worked. After the tracks were done, they went in and polished and fixed every little thing. And it was great. I mean, I like, I like that really super, super clean, not super clean, but really polished and refined progressive metal gent flavor that turns my wheels. But there is something to be said for leaving that layer of grime in there or putting it back in afterwards or however it's being achieved, because it has a certain flavor to it that a lot of modern metal doesn't, especially metalcore kind of stuff,
Did you like it?
I loved it. I think it's great.
My favorite part was when classic Lamb of God came out, and that was when Morton and Adler hit their stride with the riffy, and that the tempo picks up. But I equally love the grinding, slowed down, rumbling bass and Blith just spitting fire and just exercising whatever demons were crawled up his ass and needed to come out his mouth, because it was badass. And I just think this is a great track. This is by far my favorite track that they've done probably since Sacrament. I saw them several times on that tour way back in the early 2008, 2009 era. And I love the song Walk With Me in Hell. I think it's one of the greatest metal songs of all time. And I think that this one will be a staple live track, just because it allows Randy to be a bit of a Hugh Jackman of metal. He can be a showman with this one, and it should be good live.
Yeah, listening to this track, I found myself trying to deconstruct it a little bit, and that long bass intro, I'm curious. I would be curious. It may be out there. I haven't seen it. As to who wrote it, who gets the credits. Was it the whole band? That intro that is largely a bass-driven intro, was that written by Campbell, or was it written on guitar and then deconstructed? They take the guitar out and leave the bass for the intro, or was it, no, let's start with just a whole bunch of dirty, gritty ass, for the first 2 minutes before the guitar comes in and starts to match the line. So I'm fascinated by that sort of stuff. Comment below if you've got the answer. I would like to know. And I didn't bother to check, and it didn't pop up. So yeah.
Your journalistic integrity has never been finer than this moment.
Well, if never been finer means in the toilet, then yes, that's where it started. That's where it will remain.
Well, that's you love the toilet. So
I do.
That's why it's called Shit Talk Reviews. So listen, great track. Hopefully this is the sign of things to come. Lamb of God, really, their worst is not terrible music. Let's be honest. But this one was definitely a great surprise, and it's going to be great to see where they go with the rest of the record.
Yeah, hopefully we get it sooner than later. Any word on when it's dropping? Or are they going to do what a lot of bands are doing and just give us singles over the next 6 months?
Yeah, well, we'll find out. But I haven't seen anything out there about a full record. But I suspect this is a tease of something to come.
Yeah. Great song, love it, and it'll be on the liked songs. So, yeah, if you dig it too, let us know. Throw a comment down, and we appreciate it. We'll see you.